to the news of the week for the 18th week of 2023. We've had confirmation of the new update, some more update 5 news. So it looks like they've dropped that update 5 will land in June. So we're looking at about a month away. They indicated this with the final community goal, which was also achieved. It's a bit disappointing that the item that they were kind of hinting at, we're actually not going to get until update 5, which is a bit weird, considering we're going to get other items along with that too. But they did give us 500 moonstones, so that was a bit nice of them. But still, no hotfix, and it doesn't seem like there's any indication that we're going to get one before update 5 in a month. So I've got a feeling they're just going to group it all together. So all the bugs you're getting right now, you're probably going to be stuck with them for a little while. And speaking of bugs, the Easter event was over, and it looks like a lot of people's egg bushes didn't disappear. I mean, one of mine did, just one. I've still got 2. Some people had all of them disappear. Some of them had only a couple disappear. Some of them didn't have any disappear. So that was a bit odd. I've got a feeling that they intended the hotfix would prevent that from happening, but because that was delayed, that happened. So yeah, oh well, that's done. We'll just have to sit and just have more eggs growing on bushes. And the big thing, another outside of Dreamlight Valley news, sort of, is the Twitch stats for the last update. Looking at them, it looked like it's the biggest update. Update 4 was the biggest update on Twitch that's ever happened, and the flow and effects of that big spike, more people are watching Dreamlight Valley now than ever before. So if you're interested into a streamer to watch, there's plenty of others. Emily Dream is a good one, but there's also me, so whatever. And yeah, and that's the brief news of the week. So now what we'll do is we'll go from them a bit further and break them down. So first step is we're going to go through the Discord server. So we'll just switch over to the Discord server. Boink. Cool. Big news that came out today was this little post here. And it says, does the world feel a little magical today? It should, because 600,000 Dreamlight Park attractions have been placed in the valley to celebrate the Dreamlight Park challenge being completed in record time. The thing is that this is the first time they ever did it. So what's the record time? They're not breaking any record. The record time is just they've timed it for the first time. I mean, anything's a record at that point. And that's a weird phrase it's a weird phrase for them to say, completed in record time. I mean, did another Dreamlight Valley play as well, and they had the same competition? I don't know. It's a weird phrase to say. And it says here, check in your in-game mailbox for 500 moonstones, which wasn't what they promised us, because if you notice on here, it says mystery Disney Parks items, and everything else on here that was the reward we got straight away. This one we didn't, which seems a bit off, but that's how they're gonna do it. As a special reward, look out for this teapot based on the Mad Tea Party attractions spinning in your inbox with our next update in June. So that's the big one, June. Our next update in June. Now, notice they didn't say update 5 in June. They just said next update. So you could put a little crazy hat on it. You'll assume it's update 5, right? But they could also mean the hotfix isn't coming until June as well, because the next update, including the hotfix, is not going to come until June. So I've got a feeling we're stuck with a few things, because I've got a feeling this is my suspicion, they intended to release this item with a hotfix. And that was just going to be in the game for it to be released once it hit a particular mark. So this is the item that we're going to get. It's basically identical to the item up here, even to the saucer. So pretty much what they did is just copied that, pasted it into small, and made it an item that you can move around. So that's why I think it was supposed to be included in a hotfix, because that's easy enough to do. But I think they got delayed. So that's cool though. The big news is next update in June implies we're probably not going to get an update until June, but also gives us a good idea of how long we need to wait. So that's really good. And 500 moonstones is not bad at all. I mean, yeah, I'm happy with that. The next round of news. Easter event. So yeah, one thing that's been quite interesting is the Easter event ending, but the bushes not going away. So we'll jump back over to the game and we'll quickly go over here. And so there, the Easter event is over, but the bushes, there's two of them. Now, everyone seems to be having a different experience with this. Some only have one remaining, some have all three, and some don't have any. So that's a weird one, a weird bug. And because the whole, suspicion was what's going to happen in these bushes once the event's over. Everyone kind of assumed they'll just vanish. Just like they just appeared, they'll vanish too. But looks like it's a mixed bag. I think the game just slowly, just decided who was worth it and who could keep their eggs and who didn't. But again, I think that was intended for the hotfix to come out before the event ended, so that would actually revert. So that's, again, didn't fall that kind of suspicion. But yeah, the eggs are still around. I would say make the most of it. Get as many eggs as you want, because I've got a feeling I'll stuck with them for a little while. The next bit. Stream Twitch tracker. So this is something I actually wanted to show people. So I'm going to go back and sit down. And I found it quite interesting because it goes on a streamer I was watching a couple of days ago, probably Senpai, who's just made partner, and he's very stoked and I'm very happy for him. He was mentioning how we're in the early days of Dreamlight Valley. Right? We're in early access. The game isn't losing popularity. It's more kind of slowly increasing with every update. It's getting more and more in depth, and there's a big online component in the works. No one really knows what it's going to be like. There are rumors of that it's going to be like a big community kind of thing. That's going to be a social network. That's there's going to be a unique currency. There'll be a lot of internet connectivity between each other. But there's also people are kind of watering down the expectations a bit more that you could just visit someone's valley and that's about it. So there's big kind of speculation. So we think there's going to be a bit of an explosion in terms of community feel in the future. But if we go over to the actual stats from the last update, all right, we'll switch over to these. So this is Twitch tracker. Now it's not 100% accurate. It's not exactly the best thing to go off, but it kind of shows a bit of my point here. So this here was the first update, what we call the Scar update. So that was the first big update drop. And we saw a bit of a spike there. Obviously, we saw the massive spike on launch day, and that's understandable. New game, everyone wants to dive into it. And then we saw a bit of a drop off. We saw that spike up again, and then the drop off again, and it went down. The next update, which we often call the Stitch update, I believe, was the winter update, because it was in December. Cool. We saw another spike, not as big. You notice that bit of a drop off there. And then with update 3, which is what did we end up calling it? Enchanto update? Olaf update. Call it the Olaf update. We saw a dip again. So it wasn't trending very well. It wasn't trending well at all, and which was a little bit disappointing. Now, there was a bit of a gap in the update drop from January to April. I didn't realize it was a 3-month gap. Or 4-month? 4-month gap. Did I get these dates right? I'm going to quickly check the Discord. Pretty sure I got these dates right, that this is update 1, 2, 3, and then 4 was this massive spike in April, which is massive. If you look at like where this landed and then see that's the biggest viewership since launch day. And if you notice, the drop off isn't going back to pre-update 4 levels. It's kind of staying rather stagnant. So I've got a feeling that we're going to start to see an upward trend in terms of how many people are actually watching Dreamlight Valley, and that's a good indication of the healthiness of the game. Now, a lot of people saying, oh, this is good for streamers, and this is good for people they're content creators, but the way you should see this is the more people watching the game, more people want to pick up the game, finding the game, more they're going to make towards the game. So that's why this is actually rather significant to see the health of the game, because there's no other way to know other than just hope for an update. And so, all right, so this happened in the 16th of February. So what happened on the 16th of February? Oh, interesting. I was wrong. So we're going to wind back a little bit. The 16th of February was actually update 3. So this here was update 3. So it really was trending downwards. So what was in January? What was in the 20? What was the? Oh, that was Christmas. Interesting. It was Christmas. Of course, nothing dropped in Christmas. Oh, so yes, if I remember right, there wasn't a special Christmas event that only on Christmas could you get presents under the tree. It turns out they stayed there for at least a couple of days in a week. But that, yeah, that would make sense of why that was a spike there. So let me rephrase this. Update 1, Scar update. Update 2, Stitch update. Update 3, the Olaf update. Update 4 is when it gets interesting. So that's the most recent one. That's the Lion King update. And that's when we're seeing that massive spike, the highest we've ever seen. Now, there's more viewers than this. This is just Twitch tracker. They don't track everyone. For instance, because I'm a lonely guy and I don't have a lot of people in my stream, I'm probably not counted in these stats, and I had only 10 people. So these are really the big players that are counted there. But it clearly shows you that, you know, there was a massive interest after a little bit of a decline. And if we're looking at where we are currently, I mean, we're still higher than the pre-update 4 levels, which is good. It is trending down, but it's becoming more stable and more in line to what we're used to. But I am seeing, you know, interest staying a bit longer. So it'll be interesting to see whether that momentum can stay. It will be interesting to see whether that's a Lion King influence, you could say, or is this just more people just getting more into the game, they're changing more, that because they did indicate, and I would agree with this. Update 4 was their biggest update in terms of content. They introduced a lot of things into the game, a big star path into the game as well. Normally star paths are, you know, you get a couple of items here and there, but you don't get a massive amount of items with the star path. But this one you did. You got all the circus stuff. Circus stuff? Ferris wheel and amusement stuff. I can't remember the words. I'm going to quickly see. Yeah, they haven't indicated what the next star path is. So it'll be interesting to see whether they take that feedback on and go, all right, we're going to just run with this idea. We're going to keep on giving them new items, keep on giving new things, and see how it goes. So yeah, that's going to be very interesting coming up over the next couple of months, I reckon. So long and the short of it, not an update for a month. Possibly no hotfix for a month, but there's stuff brewing and it's getting exciting. So yeah, that's my news of the week. And now I'll open up to the floor if anyone is still in chat of any questions you have. So the shop update for the week, for the 18th week of 2023, as we can see here, we have had the new update. So if anyone has missed out on the palace, now's a good week to actually pick that up. The only new item I can see here is It's a Small World rainbow pillar. So it is a variation on the star path pillar that we did get. So obviously this is a rainbow one. So that's the only unique one I can see there. Everything else seems to be a few duplicates, but now's a really good time to pick up the palace if you want to get it. So yeah, that's the quick premium shop update for the week. Oh, and also one last tidbit. From now on, every week in our Discord, in the threads, we'll be putting a little news of the week thread for every week. We'll be putting a little we'll be making a thread for every week, and we'll be putting the news as we find them. So if you've got any news you want covered, go in there, type your little phrase there, and we'll edit, or at least we'll discuss it and explore it and see if it's worth anything. There is a lot of tinfoil hat conspiracy theories out there, as the new we're coined a new phrase called the Tinkerbell crazy theories. So basically, as you know, it's to go off the whole everyone thought Tinkerbell was going to be in this update because of very kind of minor hints at it. So we call it the TC theory. So the TC theories, we can talk about any in there, and we will be referring them as TC theories from now on. So there we go. That's my news of the week, and I hope you all have an amazing life. If this is the only video you're ever going to watch mine, or day, take whatever one you want.